Up next on Running, the flagship series that celebrates athletes in action. The active lifestyle racing scene is coming back. One high five at a time. One heartbeat at a time. One starting horn at a time. Running, triathlon, and obstacle racing. And the baseball season. All ready to go and ready for the first pitch. And so are we. The starting lines begin to call again. In this episode, the sweet sound of the starting horn. Social distancing strictly enforced in Spartan Jacksonville, Florida, so you will have the obstacles all to yourself. Dial it up. Two of the top cardio sports push you to the limit at the Row and Run at the Armory in Upper Manhattan. A full body challenge that will max your heart rate. One flight at a time, the waves head 20 blocks downtown in a New York minute in the 2018 Fifth Avenue Mile. But in the Exoskeleton Division, for those with paralysis from spinal cord injury, it's not about time. It's about 1 foot in front of the other. Bravo! To the island of Hawaii for the Ironman World Championship, an elite playground for those at the very top of the triathlon world. And they took care of business. To Albany, New York, for a look back a few years where the ladies shine and the Freihoffers Run for Women 5K. 26 miles through the 5 boroughs. While the TCS New York City Marathon is on hold for a year, a look at the marathon experience. 5 boroughs, plenty of company, and a warm welcome at the finish line. A record field bolts out in the 40th Cow Harbor 10K in Northport on Long Island. Lots of history and lots of fun through the ranks. The Atacama Desert, Chile, South America, commonly known as the driest place in the world. A perfect place for a race. From Hawaii, the perfect waves for the aquatic acrobats to cut in, over, around, and through the Pacific Ocean waves. Quite a different story on the Atlantic side in Basque country, where 40-footers challenge the brave souls who dare test the power of nature. Once the horn sounds, they come at you fast and furious. The obstacle racers charge up, over, around, and through whatever's around the next bend. Then the virus hit. So the rules changed. Quickly. After several months of sitting out the worst of the virus, the new generation of obstacle racing is here. Spartan in Jacksonville, Florida. 6-foot separation on the starting grid, and maintained as much as possible throughout the event. For those cooped up and raring to go, okay, we will play by the rules. Let's just get going. And once you shake out the cobwebs, you'll be right back in the swing of things. You've got lots of stored up energy, so just let it out, one obstacle at a time. For the strong and fit, it can be poetry in motion. The need for upper body strength never goes away. Okay, likely you didn't practice this in your backyard, but today you're on target. Raring, not rusty.
Yeah, what I'm talking about.
The mud has always been there, waiting for your return. And with each obstacle, a renewed sense of we are back, let's take care of business. Clever obstacle designers help you find muscles you didn't know you had. Lots of mud, lots of miles, and lots of vertical. Jacksonville, Florida. Spartan, leading the charge to get us moving again. Rekindling that we can do it spirit. I'll jump to that.
Jump that baby.
Nothing quite as graceful and powerful as a rowing crew at full power. So, now a curious transition to the Armory in Upper Manhattan. The Armory is the home of major national class racing, including the Millrose Games and also hundreds of running events for college, high school, and age groupers. What's the connection between the high-level cardiovascular sports of rowing and running? New York Row stages the first row and run event at the Armory. Many categories and distances. Here is the 500-meter row, followed by a half-mile run.
This is our first annual run and row biathlon where we're combining two of the greatest endurance sports into one indoor event. So we have individuals and teams competing where they'll row a certain distance and then run a certain distance.
Now, off to the half-mile run.
Rowing is really available to anyone who likes to compete, work hard, be a part of a team. It doesn't take a ton of technical skill just to become a rower, so it's really available to anyone who wants to be a part of it.
The inaugural row and run at the Armory. But today you can almost feel the presence of the waters surrounding the island of Manhattan. The New Balance Fifth Avenue Mile, a New York Roadrunners event. One flight at a time heads out, aiming for a personal record in this 20-block straightaway, and there's no holding back. Dramatic change in speed for one Fifth Avenue Mile flight. To the starting line of one of the early waves of the day on Fifth. The Exoskeleton exhibition race for paralyzed participants. 4 courageously answered the starting gun. Exoskeleton, a device that is a wearable mobile machine powered by a system of electric motors, pneumatica, lever, hydraulics, and a combination thereof, allowing limb movement with increased strength and endurance. Peter Schreiner bolts out in front, unfazed by the mile up ahead.
This is a exoskeletal assisted walking race. We're using the ReWalk device. We have 4 people with spinal cord injury who are completely paralyzed walking in this device today. 3 of them are Mount Sinai patients and 1 of them is a veteran from the Dallas VA. The ReWalk is the device they're in today. It's the most suited for speed and this kind of outdoor movement.
Peter is on pace for a 60-minute mile. The other participants are just a bit back. Bionic athletes might be a suitable phrase.
Good job. Good job.
Peter picks up the pace as the finish line gets closer, as runners in other heats flash by. For the bionic athletes, it's both a mental and physical challenge.
Mental to say in your mind that I can see myself at the finish line, and physical because it takes a lot of work to move these big devices. These devices are changing lives. And this race today was a huge inspiration to so many, including the athletes. These devices allow people to have an active life instead of being sedentary.
The Fifth Avenue Mile, Exoskeleton Division, for paralyzed athletes on the move. This sport welcomes all. Up next, to the island of Hawaii for the Ironman World Championship, an elite playground for those at the very top of the triathlon world. And they take care of business.
Editors, producers, social media notables, timely, relevant stock video clips for your broadcast, internet, and social media projects. Visit GettyImages.com, editorial video, search Salmini. A vast, up-to-date source of high-definition video clips from the billboards in Times Square to the peaceful protests that continue to make front-page news around town and across the country. An extensive, timely source of video clips such as these to help you get powerful selected messages out to friends, team members, and the internet world at large. Whatever your affiliation, the site offers hundreds of video clips to support and embolden your message. The site is continuously updated to ensure your message is relevant and on target. Visit GettyImages.com, editorial video, search Salmini.
The Ironman World Championship in Kona Kailua on the island of Hawaii. Looking back in the running archives, a visit with what is considered the top single-day endurance race on the planet. A 2.4-mile swim, a 112-mile cycle, and a 26.2-mile marathon. Wave starts, then it's off through the lava field on an island dominated by the volcanic peaks of Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa. Patrick Land of Germany rides his way through the pack and then runs his way to those few still up ahead. It can be a very lonely journey once you're out of town. Lange records an extraordinary 2:39.59 marathon split and is the first down a Leahy drive to the finish. A $120,000 payday for the German. Daniela Reif of Switzerland runs alone and takes it to the tape.
Women's Ironman champion, Daniela Reif.
Meanwhile, as the sun sets, the majority of the field is still working their way through the marathon distance. The Ironman World Championship. For some, it takes a lifetime to get here, and it's worth all the effort. Now, a quick look back in the running series archives to the capital of the state of New York, Albany 2015. The 37th Freihofer's Run for Women 5K. An elite international field will test themselves in this IAAF Silver Label race.
Having a goal, this race can be a goal for women, and you know it's the perfect time of year because you start training for it right as you're coming out of winter, and it's just a great opportunity to get out, meet new people, train, even if it's just with one friend. It's just a great opportunity, great event for the Capital Region.
There are so many different combinations of women showing up for this event every year, and I think word of mouth just spreads how fabulous this event is for women. There are sister teams, grandmothers, grandchildren, 3 generations of women running together, best friends. It is an amazing spirit of camaraderie in what is also an extremely competitive
is right
race.
in front of the New York State Capitol building, on the left. Over the decades, many women have begun their fitness lifestyles in this event and passed that on to their children. Many combinations of family participation, grandmoms, moms, daughters, sister, as long as everyone stays on the move. $28,000 in prize money will be sorted at the finish line, with $10,000 for the win. Kenyans and Ethiopians set the pace on this 5K out and back course, new for this year. Later in the day, there's also a junior 3K, a kids run, and community walk. So fitness rules the capital area today. Even as the elites are well into their race, the main field happily eases into the course. What's the rush? The finish line isn't going anywhere. The field strings out through Washington Park, and then at the front heading home, there is a rush. Closest to the camera, Emily Chibet. In the middle, Buze Dariba, and on the far side, Cynthia Limo.
Feels great to be out here.
Chibet
So many
surges
people,
around
grandmothers,
and is greeted by the
grandchildren.
huge
It's a
finish
great
line
day in
crowd.
Albany.
Wearing bib number 2.
It's Chibet, Limo, and Dariba.
Chibet has come back, and she is a 3-time winner. Right behind her, number 7, placing second.
In the Masters division, it's Melody Fairchild of Colorado. Capital performances at the front and through the ranks here in Albany. Let's see. Give a girl the right shoes and she can conquer the world. Wow, she's on the fast track. Whether a first-timer or a seasoned pro, it's about having the courage to start. The Freihofers Run for Women 5K. Except for a handful, it's not about speed. It's about an active lifestyle community that just doesn't want to slow down.
For the past 30 minutes.
Up next, no running resume is complete without the TCS New York City Marathon experience. 5 boroughs, plenty of company, and a warm welcome at the finish line.
RunAmerica.co, mobile app and website. Keeps your feet on the move, celebrating your active lifestyle. Virtual racing is currently the best way to stay connected with road racing. Join the party. Distance, location, charity initiatives, all can be found on RunAmerica.co. Traditional and virtual events. The starting lines await. From the mile up to an ultra. Thousands of events for you to review. And jump in when and where you choose. Staging an event? RunAmerica.co can connect your team and your participants with a sponsorship. Visit the RunAmerica.co website or mobile app. The site for the next great generation of those embracing the active lifestyle. Your starting line awaits.
One might say it begins here, on the pavement, the painting of the blue line. Following that blue line will get you from the starting line to the finish line in the TCS New York City Marathon. On race day, there are 26.2 miles of urban adventure ahead. Because of the pandemic, the TCS New York City Marathon is on hold for a year. All the more reason to keep up those miles so you can join the festival when it returns next year. Twin howitzers get you out of Staten Island on your way to Brooklyn. Four waves in all, 25 minutes between starts, ensures an orderly beginning on the bridge, the largest hill on the course. Over 50,000 are spread out over both the upper and lower levels of the bridge. Freedom Tower glistens in the morning sun, sending out a welcome to the international field. About 10 miles of the race are in Brooklyn. 4th Avenue sends out a warm and hearty welcome. The average finish time is well over 4 hours, So, in the middle of Brooklyn, what's the rush? The sideline crowds really start to build as the party moves from Brooklyn to Queens. At about the 15-mile mark, the moving festival heads over the Queensboro Bridge, the 59th Street Bridge. Then to First Avenue, where you will motor your way past the largest crowd on the course. You can pretty much switch to autopilot on First Avenue. Neither your fellow runners nor the crowd will let you slow down. Tens of thousands of spectators got the tweet. "I'll see you at 60th Street on First Avenue." And somehow, they do. About 3 miles on First Avenue until you cross into the Bronx at the 20-mile mark. A quick pass through the Bronx, and finally, the promised land, Central Park. Now, no question, you are going to finish. You've done the hard work, now savor the final miles. You've done it. Savor the final yards. Celebrate. Bravo. Well done. The TCS New York City Marathon, where over the decades the world has come to run, and will again. And you will take care of business. A very special day in Northport on Long Island. A quick look back in the running series archives for a visit with one of the top events in the Northeast. The 40th staging of the great Cow Harbor 10K run.
Good luck, Fernando.
Over the years, we've developed it, and we couldn't do it without all the volunteers and the sponsors. Special Olympics, they are beneficiary for this race. This is why we do it. All the net proceeds go to Special Olympics.
The course is challenging, with a $23,000 purse waiting at the finish line. The race is a benefit for Special Olympics Long Island. Over the years, over $800,000 has been raised for local charities, including Special Olympics Long Island. The elites push the pace early, thinning the pack. Lots of fresh, fast legs in the early miles. You train to race, and today is your day. Once the big kids are gone, the real kids get their chance in the 2K, and there's no holding them back. Defending champion Natasha Rogers of Colorado decides to settle things early. Dawn Cabral, number 6, and Morgan Pearson battle at the front. The crowd at the finish line is ready, willing, and able to give a warm welcome to the thousands heading their way. And they don't have to wait long. Dawn Cabral blows the race open over the final miles and solos down Main Street. Natasha Rogers repeats, a very comfortable victory. The finish area in downtown Northport is as festive as any in the sport. Doesn't matter your finish time, the crowd will give you a warm welcome. Lots of winners here, but for sure, the biggest winner, Special Olympics Long Island. The Great Cow Harbor 10K, a great way to celebrate the active lifestyle for a great cause. The Atacama Desert in Chile, South America, in the vicinity of the Lascar Volcano. The UVU Volcano Marathon. The Atacama Desert is commonly known as the driest place on planet Earth. A local weather station has never recorded any rainfall. The start and finish are at 14,500 feet of elevation, so oxygen deprivation comes with the territory. Hot, dry, thin air. For some edge players, a great day for running and for spectating. some less than reassuring sights along the way. Taking the win, Greg Thornton of Ireland in 4:10.13.
Once is enough. Once is enough.
I think I found the marathon to make me stop running marathons.
The UVU Volcano Marathon. Once you've done this one, the rest is downhill. Up next, the waves at Punta Galea line up nicely at 40 feet. No hot dogging, just survival in the big wave competition.
Editors, producers, social media notables. Timely, relevant stock video clips for your broadcast, internet, and social media projects. Visit GettyImages.com, editorial video, search Salmini. A vast, up-to-date source of high-definition video clips from the billboards in Times Square to the peaceful protests that continue to make front-page news around town and across the country. An extensive, timely source of video clips such as these to help you get powerful selected messages out to friends, team members, and the internet world at large. Whatever your affiliation, the site offers hundreds of video clips to support and embolden your message. The site is continuously updated to ensure your message is relevant and on target. Visit GettyImages.com, editorial video, search Salmini.
To the north shore of Oahu in the Hawaiian Islands. Watching the pros tame the waves is a great way to catch up on beach time. The Association of Surfing Professionals Billabong Pipe Masters. For these guys, living in the tube is as good as it gets. Moving 6,000 miles to the east, to Basque country between Spain and France. The waves at Punta Galea line up nicely at 40 feet. No hot dogging, just survival in the big wave competition. When you get it right, you know it's going to be a great year. That's all for this episode of Running. I'm Jill Goodwin. See you out there on the roads.